I put that out there in this video sort of as clickbait because I thought people would be interested in it, but I really mean it. Do you consider yourself a survivor? And if you do consider yourself a survivor, why? What is it about you that makes you a survivor? Do you have special skills? Do you have special knowledge? Do you have special training? Do you have special tools that make you a survivor? I mean, Pastor Joe and I think we do, and we have 20 plus years of experience in different areas, but does that guarantee that we're survivors? Let's talk about that. If you shoot 6 shots in under 2 seconds, does that guarantee you're going to be a survivor? If you just don't seem to get the flu when other people get the flu, does that mean you're a survivor? I want to say yes, comma, and also. General health surveys say that people in, not overweight and keeping their cardiovascular up tend to be healthier than people who don't. But the point of my video is not to make you feel bad about yourself and whatever. The point of my video is for you to get thinking of that mindset that those things matter, but there's a bigger picture there. Because if you're alive in the 21st century, you are a survivor. And not only are you a survivor, but your mom was a survivor, and your dad, and their grandparents, and the great-grandparents, and all of your ancestors are survivors. Because that's why you're here right now. Take that all the way back as far as you want to take it. Take it back to, Lucy, 3 million years ago. Take it back 6,000 years, if you're a believer, to the Ark. Take it back as far as you want to take it. Your line survived. And of course you don't know, unless it's written down somewhere or passed down in your family's oral history, exactly what about your family made you survivors. You can kind of guess. I mean, I know in my family line, we're generally healthy, generally cancer-free with the bigger cancers. But obviously we have something going on in the head. If I had to have brain surgery, and my father died of a stroke. And my mother's still alive, and I know what her, situation is, and at 80, I think she's 2 this year, she's pretty dang healthy, but she's also still moving. She rides her bike like 8 miles every day, and before that, she used to walk 5 miles and then ride her bike. And she was pretty sedentary, not sedentary per se, but, played tennis and those sorts of things. She wasn't a jogger most of her adult life, and she worked, I think early 40s up to her 50s, she was at a desk working, but she would get up and walk a mile every lunch. She would go down to the track and walk a mile. So she kept basically active, and she's still doing it. So that's a thing, but not everybody is, well, everybody can be physically fit. But people have other skills. You got people, I mean, if we go way back, you had people who would have been merchants, who knew how to buy and sell. You would have had people who knew how to build, masons, and those guys who figured out concrete and stick framing and all that stuff. There would have been people who could speak well, who could be educated and then discourse on things. There would have been people who were interested in cause and effect, and then medical, kind of science before it became witchcraft and whatever, and figured out that, hey, I feel better if I eat this, or if I put this certain herb on my, my burn, it tends to heal better. And of course there were things passed down not so smart, like butter on a burn. But people had skills. There were people who were ranchers who could, take 3 goats and turn it into a herd of 50. There were people who were military, that the military system made sense, and they could visualize, if I have to fight a battle this way, then this is going to be the best way for me to win it. And there were also the foot soldier guys who were like, you know what, if I become a soldier, I get 3 meals a day, or 1, or whatever it is, and a place to sleep, and I'm going to be at least in a fight if I'm in a fight, I'm going to be in a fight with other people. It won't just be me versus some other dude. You know what I mean? They saw the value in having weapon systems. They understood upgrading them. Somebody figured out stirrups for saddles around the time of Alexander the Great. Might have been Alexander, but before that, cavalry wasn't very effective because without stirrups, it's a lot harder to stay on a horse's back. So there have just been people with all sorts of coping skills. Maybe you have someone who was a servant in your ancestry who figured out, well, I'm not going to strike it rich. I don't have the idea for making a broom, and tons of brooms, and now I'm the broom king. But if I become a servant to a richer family, I'm going to be in a better environment. I'm going to learn things from them. They're going to pay me. Therefore, I'm going to continue to go forward in some way. So you are a survivor. I don't know if you picture yourself that way. If you think there's no hope for you, or if you're stuck and I can't go anywhere and I'm poor or whatever. No. You're a survivor, and you come from a line of survivors. And in your family, there is a skill, there is a knowledge, there is a inkling, there is something that brought all of those people forward, and you have it in you too. You need to think about it, you need to pray about it, and you need to identify it and start becoming that survivor. Start becoming that achiever, that overachiever, that overcomer, that person who makes things happen, that guarantee that your line also is going to continue. All right, I hope this talk gave you something to think about. I'd look forward to your comments. Shalom, bless you. In the Battle of the Outhouse, it was Sister Kate 5, Wasps 1, and 1 escapee.
Aww.